Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we take you back live to the University of Texas on the edge of the main campus where they have locked things down. And if you go back, the reason I'm suspicious about this and the way they lock these scenes down now and claim there's another shooter and then, well, a person of interest is we have so many cases where they'll get some hopped up mental patient in a public school, in a university, and then shoot a few people. They'll have a shooter dressed similar to the nutcase. Then they'll kill the nutcase and use that as a pretext to crack down on the Second Amendment. Now, this may just be some type of mentally ill lunatic or some enviro-Nazi, eco-fascist like we saw a few weeks ago at the Discovery Channel Center who thinks there's too many humans. So now I guess we're down one less moron when the SWAT team took him out. So that could be the case as well. But Matt Ryan, any other observations you've made down there on the scene before we talk to Jason Douglas, who's down there with you?
Well, one thing we just noticed, looking overhead, seeing the helicopters actually flying lower and lower with each pass, they don't have any markings of police helicopters. They actually look quite military. And one thing Douglas will tell you, I can hand it over to him, is we actually are seeing have seen some military on the scene.
Well, that's a huge development. Are you getting videotape of them?
Yeah.
Okay, does it look like a National Guard, Army, or does it look like MP uniforms?
One thing we've seen, full fatigue along with berets, so it may just be a standard Army. We are seeing one police helicopter flying overhead, but also a lot of unmarked black helicopters. We're going to have to look at our footage to see exactly.
Now, black helicopters don't exist, Matt Ryan.
They don't. Well, there's two of them flying overhead right now.
Of course, they now admit they have a fleet of thousands of them. It blew me away last night. I'm going to talk about it later. We monitor Glenn Beck because we're making a documentary about him in part. And it was like watching my show. It was Obama has 500 naked body mobile trucks that look through your walls. It's total tyranny. They've got an assassination list of U.S. citizens. We're going into Nazi Germany. Everything we covered 2 weeks ago, word for word. But he kept saying Obama. Obama is continuing everything Bush did and everything Clinton did because it's the shadow government, the boys in those black helicopters, the men in black that run this country, not the ceremonial Congress. Very interesting. Continue to try to get video and get back as soon as you can, and we'll just grab raw clips out of the footage of the military. This is big breaking news, but if they are wearing black berets, that is the standard Army issue. Hand it over to Jason Douglas. Matt, right. Good job. Matt Ryan reporting for Infowars.com. Jason Douglas, what are you seeing down there?
Well, when we first arrived on the scene, they had cordoned off a pretty close to the campus an area, so we pulled immediately in to ask where the press staging ground was. When we pulled in, that's when I saw the gentleman dressed in fatigues with a beret on. He was actually driving by as I was asking the state trooper where we should set up. So I didn't get to get footage of him directly and find out what unit he was with or, why he's here. He was driving away in a car.
Oh, but I mean, to be clear, you've only seen one guy then, or because Matt Ryan's saying he got footage of it.
Right, we split up. And what happened was Matt Ryan was staying at the press staging ground because he has a tripod, and he said that he saw some men in green jumpsuits that looked military. They could have been SWAT, but most likely, trained military in some sort of.
Not if they were wearing black berets. That's U.S. Army standard issue for everybody.
Berets? The ones that I saw on the ground were wearing helmets. The ones in the jumpsuits were wearing helmets and gray, basically a gray jumpsuit.
No, that's Austin SWAT team.
Okay, green jumpsuit.
No, it looks like a Border Patrol uniform.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and the one that I saw was driving away in a car. So we were in two separate locations when this went down. Okay,
I want to clarify that and then come back to you, Douglas, after the break briefly. And then we'll wrap up this report from now, but get you to pop back in later when you get back to studio, or unless you guys think you should stay down there, we'll come back to you in the middle of the next hour after I cover news and take calls. But briefly, hand the phone back to Matt Ryan because you guys split up. I want to get specifically what type of military-type personnel he saw.
Just a minute. All right.
Matt, to be specific, he's saying he saw somebody in a black beret and camouflage in a car. What specifically did you see military-wise? Describe it as best you can.
Well, one thing I did see were the individuals traveling in groups with dogs, green jumpsuits, crew cut, some of them wearing black helmets. They were traveling in a pretty large group. Again, I couldn't determine if they were SWAT. They looked military, but they may have in fact been SWAT. I was referring mostly to the sighting that Douglas had earlier.
Okay, the helicopters though.
Definitely black unmarked helicopters.
Mm-hmm. They've got gray ones too in Central Texas that we know are command helicopters. I'm probably going to pull you guys in here soon. Or I may have one of you stay there, one of you bring the tapes you've got back, because I want to see these helicopters before the show ends today, and be able to show viewers what's happening with that. Stay there, Matt Ryan. We'll come right back to you.